Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to explore one more use case of SecureX orchestration. A quick introduction to SecureX. Cisco SecureX is a cloud-native tool that unifies visibility across our entire security infrastructure in a single platform. Further, it also allows us to automate security operations with the help of orchestration module in a codeless environment. So today we are focusing on automating the response to an incident related to ransomware attack with the help of a workflow which I have created inside SecureX orchestration. This workflow will utilize multiple components of Cisco Secure portfolio, including Cisco Umbrella and ISE. I name this workflow as Rapid Threat Isolation. This is a made up example I'm going to use today, quite similar to one real incident reported to us few days back. The incident we are talking today is related to ransomware attack. Phishing emails are the most common attack vector used in these type of attacks, where a user mistakenly clicks on a web link to a malicious website, which eventually downloads the malicious payload to the requested system. Once it got downloaded, it will then try to do lateral movement within the network, and at the same time, it will also try to communicate with the backend malicious infrastructure servers to download the encryption keys. And once keys are downloaded to the infected PCs, it can then lock up the entire system and may ask for ransomware to unlock it. So the communication between the infected PC and the backend server are called C2 callbacks or command and control callbacks, which usually happen at DNS layer. In this example network, we have two components of Cisco Secure portfolio, Cisco Umbrella and Cisco ISE. Cisco ISE is our network access control solution, which basically controls who can access what inside your network based on the user or device context. Further, Cisco Umbrella, which is a cloud native web security platform that uses multiple layers to make sure you are accessing clean content or websites over internet. Also, it is very effective when it comes to discover existing compromised systems by detecting C2 callbacks, which I mentioned earlier, which can be initiated by compromised devices. And that's the focus of our today's example. So imagine if someone brings a compromised device to the network, or maybe there was already compromised devices in the network when before you turn on protections like Cisco Umbrella in the network. Those compromised devices will initiate a C2 callback to the backend malicious server over internet and to download further payload or encryption keys, and Umbrella is going to detect and block it. Once it got discovered and blocked by Umbrella, you have now two options to take the required action. Uh, you can manually check the you can keep manually checking the critical alerts on the Umbrella dashboard, find the device context or details of the infected device, and then manually isolate inside the network by contacting Cisco ISE, look up for the infected system, and then isolate. In this manual process, you can already assume that there will be a lot of delays and a lot of time can be wasted. Sometime maybe no one is online to keep checking the system and take the required action, which eventually it can also further damage the network. Maybe before you might have only few devices infected, and now maybe you have hundreds of devices. So responding to an attack uh, responding to an attack as soon as we can is very critical for these type of attacks. So that's where automation is going to help us and accelerate the response to this incident, and will eventually save a lot of time and maybe will save potential damages to the network. So, with the help of SecureX orchestration workflow, which I have created for this example, we will keep checking umbrella for those type of critical alerts. And once discovered, uh, and once it discovered, Cisco SecureX is going to contact Cisco ISE to take the desired action, which will eventually, quarantine the infected system at the network access layer. So Cisco ISE is going to push a predefined policy, which may enforce a security rule at the network access layer switch where the infected device is connected, or it could be connected over Wi-Fi network, but doesn't matter what type of network used, it will eventually limit the movement of that threat inside your network. So let's move on to the demonstration of this type of attack. So this is the workflow I have created inside SecureX orchestration. Again, you can see most of the items defined here are quite self-explanatory, which I have created with simple drag and drop. So SecureX orchestration will allow us to create a very comprehensive automation workflows with a simple drag and drop and in a code-less environment. Further, this workflow, with the help of one feature inside SecureX called Scheduler, will run after every 2 minutes. And in the beginning of the workflow, we are contacting Cisco Umbrella to find out any new alert discovered in Umbrella for C2 callbacks. And when we discover, we will then contact Cisco ISE to quarantine that particular incident. And again, there might be two possibilities. Maybe the device is part of the network, and maybe the C2 alert generated or captured by Umbrella maybe came from a device which is a remote device, or maybe a mobile device working outside of the network. In both cases, I will receive a message over WebEx Teamspace, and if I successfully isolate that malicious device or infected device, I will further receive a confirmation over WebEx. So to simulate the behavior of infected device, what I will do, I will open a website, a testing website, which will basically will initiate a C2 callback. Umbrella will discover it and block it. And once it got discovered and blocked, you will notice that the ping will start getting dropped here, and I will get a message inside my WebEx team space. So let's open that website. So it's www.example.netdomain.com. So again, Umbrella blocked this website, and in maybe less than 2 minutes, we will see that my pings start getting dropped here. Sometime it can take maybe more than 2 minutes because my workflow is running actually after every 2 minutes. So it can maybe my pings will start getting dropped, or my device will be isolated maybe within 4 minutes. So I'll pause for a moment, and I'll resume maybe after 2 minutes once it get blocked. So within a couple of minutes, I got a message inside my WebEx team space about that incident detected by Umbrella. So Umbrella sent me a message with more details about the user private IP address, and it also tell me the destination website involved. Further, I also got a confirmation that this particular host has been isolated in my network. So basically, I communicated with my network switch access port to put a security policy which has restricted or no access at all. And if my device is connected over Wi-Fi, the same thing is going to be applied on that wireless network also. Further, I also got investigate link to check whether is there any internal device has been communicating with that particular malicious server, which is in this case is example botnetdomain.com. So basically, it will further accelerate my response to the incident just discovered. So in a matter of some minutes only, I can quickly identify how many internal endpoints are infected by this type of malware, and what are the devices has been communicating with this particular malicious domain address. Again, I discover there are two devices, and both of these devices are actually my testing device. So I will not click here to see more details. So if I go back to my SecureX orchestration workflow, so if I click view runs here, it will show me how many times has been this particular workflow has been executed. So here you can see this workflow has been executed after every 2 minutes, and this is all happening because of the scheduler I defined here, which is integrated inside my SecureX. Again, if you want to know more about the working of this workflow, then please open the the link to DevNet Code Exchange, where I have uploaded this the code of this workflow with the configuration steps. In fact, let me open it now just to quickly show you how it looked like. So in this page, you will find more details about the requirements, what type of components required, what are the steps involved inside the workflow, and the configuration details starting from how to import the workflow, what type of variables you need to set up, and how to verify the workflow. Further, remember, I also mentioned that in the beginning, in addition to the alert received over WebEx Teamspace, you will notice that the case will also open whenever such incident has been discovered and reported. So you can see a C2 callback alert has been reported. It also allows us to investigate that incident directly from here. If I click investigate, threat response, it will again open that same Cisco threat response page where that particular domain will be investigated to make sure to find out whether is there any further internal device has been communicating with that malicious website. To further verify, I will open the Cisco ISE page just to show you how it look like. So let me log in again to. So this is my ICE dashboard. I'll quickly jump over to the live logs from ICE operation page. So various live logs. Here you can see if you note the authorization policies, and if you are familiar with ICE, you will notice here that initially my device, this is my username, this is my MAC address. It has the authorization policy of permit access, which basically have access to everything. And then when that isolation happened, after the API call from SecureX, my device was authenticated or authorized again, and the authorization profile got changed from permit access to isolate Meraki. So I'm using Meraki switches and Meraki access point in my network. So I basically pushed that policy to my Meraki network. So again, before I wrap up, just to show you my SecureX dashboard, again, in a single pane of glass, I can gain complete visibility about every security appliance I'm having inside my network. So I can read threat analytics from my Stealth Watch Cloud, from my firewall, from my AMP for endpoint, and from my Cisco Umbrella. So that's it for today. I hope you find today's demo quite useful. And if you are having Cisco ISE and Umbrella in your network, I believe there are a lot of things you can do with the help of SecureX orchestration. Thank you everyone for listening, and bye for now.